So let's see. It is going to be direct chair in the pistol. A couple players going to be setting themselves up to come through from Palace. There's no utility. There's not going to be any smokes. Jungle, stairs, no flashes for CT. This is dry, and it's going to be pretty difficult, I reckon, to get control for a bomb plant. Okay, never mind. There's no one here for Partizan, so at least they have a post plant.
It's a classic thing where it's like you're completely bang on the money, and yet somehow they're able to get it going. Depression, that's a really important kill on Poddy, because that means that Rigon's going to move forward, and he's not going to be really cognizant of this lurk that's coming through from Dragon. Depression's now trying to clear even further. SDY and Rigon are now chiming in with kills, and this lurk, it needs to get active ASAP, but Rigon's turned around and dealt with Dragon. What a disaster for Partizan, and SDY and Rigon have really bailed ENCE out of a tight jam.
Exactly what they needed here to kickstart their campaign as well. SDY, well, the round was basically already guaranteed, but he'll still finish it off in style with a clean headshot.
That's the thing. He was rifling, and then Partizan made this transfer. I can't remember his name, but we're going to have to go back into the archives and look. No, before that. Okay. And then Kindo picked up the AWP. So, like, Kindo was never really an AWPer by trade. He was always an AK player.
Okay, so he's kind of reverting back to... Anyway, here we go. Gun round taking some shape as ENCE have been able to secure an opening kill, dispatching of Dragon, getting mid control here, bomb being left towards ramp, and an A splits on the cards.
SDY is just so good in these mid positions. They're just creating so much space for his team. Never really one to be lurking. You sort of leave that up to Nature, who has fallen to the opposing in-game leader of Collins, tucked in behind Ticket, needs support, a little bit of help, but the important thing right now for Collins is that he's alive.
Yeah, and he's got some support coming through here from Depression as well. They're not going to be able to do anything to contest the plant itself, though. So it's going to have to require a retake here for Partizan, and they're down by a man. And Rigon secured snipers as well. Vladim's found a little bit of an angle there. Bit of a gap to dispatch of SDY. Could give them a foothold now in this retake. Well, Poddy able to find a kill now, knows the AWPers in CT as well. And with that, surely goes any chance of the retake finding success.
Uh-oh. What? That's how you die.
Unlucky.
Rigon, you die to your HE. He'll take that. That's a good trade. 3B. Kindo is cleared, but not quite cleared. And he is able to get rid of Poddy. That is going to force the hand, you imagine, out of ENCE to... Now with 40 seconds left, ENCE are now going to go into B. Unfortunately enough for Partizan, 3 players are here again.
Yeah, they've just fully committed to the stack right now, and they're relying on Kindo's deep position for information. This should be impossible for ENCE to breach. And it's a very good lockdown coming through from Partizan. Rigon is able to activate and get a kill back, but now it's only him left alive. He's 8-2. He's had a very good time so far, but I don't think that this is going to be possible for him, and Depression will seal the deal. Yeah, good work from Partizan. ENCE were hoping that...
And they're going to walk into us. That's exactly what happens here. Kindo goes searching for info. Nature's jiggling, has got the responsibility of both ramp and Palace. He cracks his head over at Palace. In goes Dragon. You imagine straight into the SDY crosshair. They are making mistakes and ENCE are punishing.
It's exactly as you had just postured as well, that ENCE are just patiently waiting to punish any moves made by Partizan. They've gotten 2 kills here. They've also spotted out Collins at the top of ramp, and that frag is secured as well. This is looking very good right now for ENCE. I mean, this is a done deal.
So you can see that net is slowly getting closed. Be very, very careful here. And there goes one. Rigon can't get rid of Depression, but Poddy will. So yet again, nothing saved whatsoever here for Partizan. But unfortunately, the double-edged sword with that is if things don't go to plan, you start going down rounds like it's 6-1, things can quickly spiral out of control because there's a lot more emotional weight in this game. And the weight of Vladim's head is just taken straight off his shoulders by Rigon. Nature will then just find Dragon on the lurk. He's so good at getting these kills on the extremity. Again, just lurking on this extremity over towards B. This is going to be very challenging indeed, you feel, for both Collins and Depression to hold on. I doubt you expect SDY on this close corner. Because why on earth would he be there? There's the whole other squads in at A. He'll call the troops over. Rigon already on low HP. Has averted the gaze of Depression. Can calm that he's probably in market window. And this is going to be 7-1. This is going to be incredibly dominant yet again. And once more, this AWP is not saved.
Yeah, like I said, we had just kind of moved the bar fairly low at that point,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh.
And now with this one, it's like, hey, you guys have shown us consistently you're able to do it. It's going to be 2 players in towards right side of middle. That smoke is going to go a long way in aiding the cause. The nades do hit the mark, but they wallbang Collins out. Is that a false sense of security? It seems like SDY still has an inkling there could be a second player there.
I think they saw 2. I think SDY definitely saw one in that corner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just going to go clear him. It's straight in the window. He's now tucked in the corner. The issue is, you've got, again, is all Partizan do is just try and force issues. And they do it individually. This looks so much like the game I watched yesterday. Whoever HOTU played, I can't remember who they were playing, but pretty much they just slowed down. They played such a slow T side, and then the other team just walked into them again and again and again. It's like deja vu. I was here yesterday. Same map. Yes, ARCRED were just pushing the whole time.
Yeah, and ENCE are just so happy to set themselves up with a robust setup across the map. They've almost always got a bit of a buddy system as well. So when Partizan do make these individual plays, even if they get a kill, ENCE are right there to get the trade immediately afterwards. SDY not overstepping the mark either. Dragon is going to venture into his crosshair. He spots him out. He's going to be able to collect another kill. Look at how well-rounded this performance is from ENCE. Sure, you've got Rigon popping off, but that's not the sole reason that they're up 8-1 now, is it?
Why ENCE are doing so well? I just think it's player profiling. Like, they are playing the way they want to play. Like, what are you going to do for Rigon to get the best out of him? You're going to let him go and fight. What are you going to do for Nature?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna give him all the space to go and lurk if he wants to. SDY, very cerebral, therefore can lurk.
You know, he's the guy who does want to feel the round out before he just goes for some sort of a rambunctious play or an opening kill. That gives a bit more space to someone like Rigon to play his natural game. So I think you're bang on the money. I think they've got a really good balance. This round, though, a little bit out of balance because it's a 5v3 turn 4v3. Nature just jiggle tapping, looking for another, but that will eventually cost him his life there. Collins punishes. This is a half investment from the CT side, and it's one of their best opportunities they've had in a while. Dragon goes straight through the smoke. SDY won't be able to affect the trade, and Partizan finally win another round back. And they've actually been able to post Collins behind the boxes. In the meantime, though, ENCE are playing the extremities. 2 players hard pressuring in towards the B-bomb site right now, but it's all a fake.
All right, Depression. Oh, I was going to say, you got to hit at least one of these shots, otherwise these players are just going to swarm all over your bomb site. Dragon goes for the same play that he did in the previous, where he pushes a piece of utility and SDY catches out Collins. This is now turned into a disaster.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Dragon's even thinking. I know Dragons breathe fire, but that doesn't mean they're immune to it. And Rigon is just all over the place there, just sliding across the screen. Akindo, he's even doubled down on 8 health. Rigon is a madman.
In this round, it was together. Is he going to go for a ninja?
He has to get on in the next
now.
few seconds. Oh, I was backing it, man. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm just left scratching my head thinking, what are you even doing in the first place? If you're not going to attempt the ninja, and you're not going to be able to save your gun, you've just ended up somewhere in the middle.
And this time, look, they haven't found the opening kill, but they've found space instead. They've traded a 5v5 with the fact that, I was going to say SDY's in con, but Rigon is still in ladder, and that could be a little bit annoying for Partizan. They're in a good moment right now because the bomb's moving over towards A. You got this double setup. You don't know about Sandwich. You don't know about Ticket. These are common angles that Partizan have been playing in, but Nature just rips heads off, and it feels like Dragon's been baited in. Needs a multi-kill, and he grabs it. And Rigon's position in ladder, now redundant.
Oh, fantastic work there from Dragon to find the necessary multi, and it's now impossible from Rigon. They know exactly where he's coming through from. He's only got 18 seconds on the clock to work with, and they're just going to triangulate on his position. And Partizan will manage 3 out of the first half, but I don't really conceive any world in which that's going to be enough. And it looks like they're going to keep things fairly simple and direct, but ENCE have somewhat already preemptively read into this because they've got 3 players over towards B from the get-go.
Yeah, Nature has got to be careful. But, I mean, Rigon here could do some damage. It all depends on how much SDY can find, and he's come up with absolutely nothing. Rigon, hello. Says, thank you very much. I'll take that kill. We wanted to swing onto Kindo. It was the right idea. Just unfortunately, couldn't land the bullets. And now ENCE are in trouble. Miltzy, Again, tucks his head out, gets back with Poddy, and I think they're going to save all the bits and bobs that they had. Maybe if you're Miltzy, you just want to go for this now. Or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a kit and a smoke. And it kind of looks like he's inclined to save this little utility that he has to work with here. And Partizan do exactly as was required of them, able to emerge out of the apartment successfully, finding those 2 kills. Rigon would have been the last sort of hope there for ENCE. I mean, even when he gets the kill on the planter, though, there's still so many players around him. Dragon actually instantly dinked him, and then Kindo was the one to get the kill, so he was never going to be able to find much. Milty getting some consolation kills. He doesn't want to die here, because that then, again, just means he isn't able to carry anything over, and he didn't attempt the retake either. So that means there is a little bit of firepower here, but we're going to be looking forward to that next gun round here for ENCE to see if they can finish it off sooner rather than later. Big push in towards the B bomb side. SDY on the platform has now been heard out. Decides to take the first shot available to him. Does at least come away with the kill, and support has arrived. The problem is that one of these players only has a USP. Not ideal at all. Nature already dead. Rigon's position made known as well. It's going to be an absolute age before Milty's even able to get on the scene. Rigon does land a clean 1D to actually give Milty a pretty good chance here in the 1v1. Charging his way up catwalk, hoping to catch somebody off guard right now, but that bomb's been activated. Depression's gotten back to Van, and Milty might be further forward than what they expect. I think Depression would have spotted him on the little jiggle. He's going to be forced into the open and taken down. Milty's got armor here, remember, so he has a really good shot in this 1v1, trying to figure out where Collins is positioned. Seems to have a pretty good idea. Taps the defuse, no, sticks the defuse. Collins is going to jiggle and tear Milty's head right off. I think Milty was maybe banky on Collins, not expecting him to have a kit.
Vladden's got to be the battering ram towards A, you feel. Because it's not coming through middle, I can tell you that much. Instead, it's just a push from Rigon.
Oh my, come on.
And just Dragon's attention distracted all but for a moment. And that means that Milty can just hold on towards Palace control. Kindo tries to elevate himself out the ramp, and there it is. Vladden, the battering ram, finds 3 kills. And this is completely turned back into an even steading. Poddy holding.
I mean, it's a big gamble from Partizan, and it feels like an unnecessary gamble. Poddy holding the cross. Does Depression jump across, or does he look to contest? He jumps, Poddy misses. Or did he tag? I mean, it's not a frag, and that's ultimately what matters right now. Bomb plant guaranteed. And now Partizan have a very good shot in the 2v2.
Yeah, Depression's got to hold short. Bang on. Literally, as I say it, he does it. And Nature goes around the corner. Nature wanted that element of surprise. Depression 1 step ahead. And now this becomes increasingly more challenging. And to be honest, relatively impossible for Poddy. He needs to back out.
Well, let's see what their response is going to be here. Off the back of a very strong performance in the first half, they have given themselves a lot of runway to get their campaign off the tarmac here on the CT side. Poddy is missing shots, though. Looking a little bit shaky, just with the way that he's going about his shots right now. He's not as calm and composed as he normally is. Looking a bit flicky.
Yes.
Also than what I'm used to seeing out of him.
Oh,
that's big from Rigon. He's just unplayable right now.
Interesting idea here for Partizan, right? So I think that they understood that ENCE are going to be a little bit more aggressive. So what they do instead is they try and fight fire with fire. They put presence in towards mid, and they try and let Kindo lurk out. They know Milty's here because Vladden would have heard that step, and Depression is able to catch. Poddy has now seen the jump over for Vladden. That's 2 confirmed. It should be 2 guaranteed pieces of info that the rest of these players are on this A bomb site.
Rigon is just the boss of middle. I can't believe it. First half and the second half, he literally rules the roost in middle. Poddy connects. And it'll be Rigon to seal the deal. He is playing like a man possessed right now. 23 kills to his name. We've played just 18 rounds of Counter-Strike here on Mirage. All things considered, it is. Yeah, you're right. And it's not to say that Vladden can't find those last few percentiles here while the map is still going to help get his team across the line. Dragon comes through from lowers. He should eventually die, and he does.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a huge flurry of frags going down in middle right now. Depression misses a key shot. That would have been the frag to get it back into an even numbers game.
You can get Depression going up catwalk. Instead, it's Vladden going towards con. Depression to peek into connector. Maybe Vladden can clear the close corners. But no one's giving anything away.
Oh,
and of course, they don't need to because Rigon's holding that tight angle. Then Milty can swing. It's brilliant.
I mean, he's just consistently finding impact here for ENCE, round in and round out, and really important kills. He's the difference maker in that skirmish in towards middle. And they're just going to be moving with pace and vigor in towards middle. And they're not pulling any punches here in this round.
Oh, but Poddy is. There's an important kill for Partizan. They got rid of Rigon, and they have no idea that Dragon is in over at the murder hole. Nice shot out of Poddy. My goodness me. That is pretty ridiculous. miltzy's now got to juggle Connector, Palace, and potentially his spawn. Just slides into a corner. Kindo not clearing just yet, and I love this move out of HOTU. He says, okay, you're in our spawn. I'm about to go in towards yours. miltzy, good luck, mate.
Yeah, miltzy's got to just try and stay alive for as long as he can here to enable HOTU to get into the round. Time ticking away. That threat of CT is one that miltzy is privy to. Oh, Kindo's going to clear him, though. That's so unfortunate for miltzy because, like you said, he has to juggle so many different positions and angles and threats. And yeah, eventually he does just get found out. HOTU, the last man left alive, 1v3. Going to collect the first kill without taking any damage. Of course, that then puts him on notice, but he's got a chance here.
Especially with Kindo low, the difficulty is getting over to the bomb site because Vladen, I doubt, will peek him by himself. If Vladen gives him this fight, that's the way in, but it's just a little jiggle out of Vladen. It gives him a little bit of leg. And maybe the rope for HOTU to cast himself out on. Wide swing, good kill, but there's that trade immediately from Vladen. Nice try from HOTU, but Partizan will at least hold on.
Going to be a long road back here for Partizan to try and see the light of day in overtime. And it's gone. Oh, we got baited there with the way we switched POVs between Depression and SDY. I thought SDY was the one to get the kill. Second AWP has been removed. A vital frag back for the T side. Poddy's been a little bit hard done by. They look like that shot should have connected.
I don't like this, Poddy.
Going for more.
Oh, Poddy. Oh, no, Poddy.
He's dead.
He's dead. He's so dead.
How's he missed that as well?
Not sure. And now HOTU's on this angle, and Depression just removes him. Shows how it's done, but you still got to get rid of this man, don't you? Lovely little flash to push Rigon off the angle. Where's miltzy? He's in Palace. Is there any way miltzy can just win this round with the virtue of Rigon staying alive?
I feel like, well, they'll just know he's the A anchor, right? So they're probably going to look to avoid the A sides at all costs at this point. And normally teams are super aware of that threat when you go late into A. And now their suspicions will be confirmed that he is over towards the, say, bomb side. Oh, I thought there might be a little chance for him to catch them as they try and cross cat into B, but not going to happen. He's probably best off just saving the AWP at this point. And Partizan.
So what they're doing right now is Collins is going to clear in mid, see if he can spot anything. He doesn't. He drops mollies. He's trying to get ENCE to move, and they don't. Poddy falls off the angle. He's here in time. Flashes back. Counter util in. But a great shot at Kindo, but Poddy, this time he's not missing any of these shots, but Kindo is trying to keep Partizan in the game. That man of Rigon still chimes in for one more between miltzy and SDY. They've left Dragon in a really tough spot with 20 seconds. And that'll be that. Tucked in the corner, can't do anything, and he was really painted in within it. And between SDY and miltzy, they are able to close. ENCE juggling his attention between, do I hold mid, do I come up and help Rigon? It's a very, very slow round for Partizan, but by slowing things down, I was going to say, you're not going to walk into the long contact. Well, you absolutely do. ENCE flash themselves back in, but there's no kills. Yeah, okay.
Wow, I can't believe how they've been shut down. They go all in. They fully commit there to the retake of long. Vladen looking to mop it up. It's not the cleanest, but getting one kill should be more than enough to seal the deal. ENCE just pushed all their chips into the middle of the table as they look to re-emerge back into long, and it costs them everything. As
soon as the dual Berettas sort of chime out with a few shots and you see the guys boosted, I don't know why you commit to that fight. That
pull
feels
the plug, right? Yeah.
Incredibly unnecessary, but they go for it. It doesn't work. That's a nice shot out of Collins. He grabs 2 in the round. Partizan
Yeah, in the first gun round, when you already have a 3-0 lead, you've got the liberty, you've got the luxury of going for something like this, a pocket rocket strat, and they are going to go all in. Nate doesn't do a whole lot. Depression at range will take down Rigon. Nate, you only good for one. That's round over. That is a fantastic way for Partizan to breach the B-bomb site.
Yeah, really good call as well, because, look, you know that this is going to be the first buy from ENCE. You know that they're going to be setting up to either try something or just play a default, a fast-paced.
And here's Poddy making the play you're kind of referencing, and he's decided he wants to get out of there. He doesn't actually want to hang around. He's being chased, but Rigon's there to support.
Really important, but now you got to worry about short. Poddy's going to make it there in time, but space on the catwalk can be generated. If Rigon pushes this smoke, I don't think he will, but that would be absurd. Decides against it. SDY now on the corner. Flashbang good to get Poddy off the angle, and he can stand here appropriately because Miltzy's got the space in long. This feels a lot better out of ENCE. And Partizan, I just described the setup they were going to do, and you just walk straight into it.
Clairvoyant, Brandon. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, surely from here, you're not going to drop the ball if you're ENCE. By far and away your best position that you've been in on the map so far. As for Partizan, it's going to be a group up with 3 players. Not giving any information away, but
nice
Rigon
flash.
off the back of the flash will still be able to peek up and collect 2 kills in the process.
Really clever flash, because it's the way it lands, you're not blinding any of your teammates in window and door. You're also throwing it forward on that trajectory, so it might hit a player, and then you can get the audio that way. And it just also means they directly have to turn around and spam the smoke, potentially in CT, because it's either you look at the CT.
Yeah, it was well worked there from ENCE, not taking unnecessary risks, covering their bases. This duo of SDY and Rigon is looking tasty, Brandon. I know it's very early days, but they worked incredibly well together in middle on Mirage. Rigon already in on the action. Poddy nearly gets caught off by their 4 positions. He can't fall back, he has to fight, and he does that. He does exactly that. It's the best of his ability.
Yeah, I tell you what's brilliant about Poddy, and I think you mentioned this, and you say about how he likes to feel out the round, but also I think his decision-making is very instinctual, and it's more often than not the right result in the situation he's put in, because it looks bonkers him to refight and reface that, but ultimately, he's got the element of surprise by going for that fight. Secondly, he's going to get caught probably if he runs away. He's going to get run down by an AK, so it's... absolutely the correct decision. You don't want to give Kindo chances here because this is going to give Vladen space up long. However, the nade of SDY will finish the job, and now Vladen is in a precarious position. 2 AWPs on different elevations, bowing down at him, and it's a great shot on the first, but SDY will trade. What a round from SDY. Primary AWPer, who is it? It is still Partizan. 2 rounds to the good. You don't want to keep pushing here if you're Miltzy. Kindo holding for this directly. And Miltz is going to use the shadow to his best advantage. Flashbang. It's good.
It's always such a gamble because when you get blinded, you don't know, should I spam? Do I hope they don't clear me? Do I hope they don't push? And unfortunately, he's just good for some damage. You're right, Poddy departed the scene. He's now the only player on this half of the map. They have at least taken control of upper tunnels. So they're getting information, but it's going to be a while before they can actually do anything about the info they've got. And Vladen's still controlling lower tunnels here. Rigon's going to be the one to cross paths, and he's gone down.
I love the fact that Poddy's come over, though, to sort of take attention away, potentially into catwalk, into top middle, then lower play can also work. Like, they are still doing things in tandem. Nader has been dropped in spawn for SDY to crack open this smoke, and now they can confirm no one's directly on this A bomb site. It means we can all get in position here. SDY just on the wisps of the smoke. No. Someone's going to walk through. That's brilliant. Someone just walks through the smoke. It is Dragon, and that allows the space to be created. Nature will trade him out. 3v2. No disruptive utility here for ENCE, and Partizan can put the bomb down.
There's going to have to be some sort of a massive moment from either Poddy or Nature, and Nature's now been dropped. Partizan on the money here. Again, keeping things very simple, but super effective. That one extra little trick thrown into the mix there by phasing through the smoke catches SDY off. ENCE don't know exactly what's coming their way, so they're still kind of covering all their bases. Poddy is gravitating back into the same bomb site. This is a nice angle from Milty, but he's still kind of been jiggled out, so they now know that he's here. It's still about buying time for as long as he possibly can. There's so much util barreling in his position, and he's actually been able to seek refuge in the smoke. Eventually, inevitably, he does get spammed down, though.
Yeah, at that point when you don't see him as you all jump in towards pit with about 8 mollies and 9 nades, like, of course, he's not going to be there. Poddy, again, flicky over towards long. We'll find one and the second. Gets a snapshot onto Dragon just before he's completely exposed by that flashbang. And he's even able to get out of dodge. This is immaculate. And then it baits in the long player. Rigon is able to get both. And between the two of them, ENCE hold down A successfully.
No fatal blood spilled yet in the round. Look at this angle from Vladen. Oh, this is hard to clear.
I think they're going to, though. The way they're approaching it, yeah. Vladen gets a nice shot. He's ready for the second player. Rigon's also... I don't think he's made a step, but he's given over a little jiggle, and Depression is still half blind when Poddy peeks over the top. Rigon now lets Partizan know, hey, by the way, I'm in all the tunnels. I know you don't have it. Stay outside.
Yeah, and he's also scooped up an Incendiary, so he can kind of try and hold on for that control, or hold on to that control for a little bit longer. Problem is there's still so much time left in the round here. And there are 3 players on the opposite side of that choke point. Oh, this is a big moment in the round. SDY, I think he's been spotted by Collins. No, maybe not. Gun barrel now seen by SDY. That guarantees the frag. Such a fine margin. And Rigon has smartly fallen back into the B bomb side. No need to continue to hold on to this forward position with the man advantage in play. Problem is, he's not going to have any support, mate.
No, he's not.
At least one. At least one. And he's now been spotted, damage found, and actually it's a team kill, and Kindo's low as well.
Look at this from SDY. Look, we're gonna come back to this setup in a sec, because I think it's absolutely brilliant. Was that a tag through the wall as well? This is a complete disaster. Nade doesn't quite land on default. It gets blocked by the box. Miltzy now chucks another nade in. They know these players are low. They're so hungry to try and get rid of them, but walking into this crossfire might be a little bit tricky, but it's made all too easy when Miltzy gets rid of Kindo. Vladen finds one, but that's all he's going to be able to successfully do on this bomb site. So when I am casting Counter-Strike, guys, if you look at the mini-map, it's always sort of semi-doubled when I'm watching.
You're watching 10v10 at that point,
so I'm putting in a lot of effort.
You've always got to kind of second guess exactly where the player is. Look
Absolutely.
At that from Rigon. He's just charged straight through. He's dead. Melty might look to try and make up for it. Don't know if Dragon's going to be exposed on the angle. My goodness. Both players exchanging glances, neither spotting each other.
Don't swap glasses, guys.
Oh, that never works. It is never a good idea. SDY, though, doesn't need his vision to get that kill, Brandon.
No, he doesn't. And now you're sort of stuck, because if you're Partizan, you feel like ENCE have got sort of 2020 information of where everyone is and what's going on. Miltzy, again, just locked in the corner. Dragon's really aware that there could be players here, because Rigon was here just a few rounds ago. That's been the premonition set into his mind. The danger is that not only has he been spotted, but this is quite individual. He'll still win out the gunfight 1-for-1. And this now drags the rotates. If you're Partizan, you end A here.
Dragon was so good in terms of methodically clearing out his angles as he makes his way forward, not taking anything for granted, not making any assumptions. As soon as he spots out Miltzy, he swings with confidence and conviction to get the kill, levels it back into a 3v3. And it's going to be an A finish here from Partizan. It's SDY, it's a big moment in the round, and that's info. Watching Dragon transition from tunnels in towards the Xbox means they're probably going to try and finish A.
They have got a smoke for the cross, so at least SDY will be blocked. I think this is really interesting, actually, out of nature. I was going to say he's maybe going to go in towards the smoke just to play with his team. Instead, look at this. Collins gets singed. He's then looking for CT players, but that is not SDY. SDY's got his Tech 9 out running through the smoke.
And they're like, no, you really do. They made me glasses. I tried them on, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. Life was just all of a sudden displayed in 4K.
I need an operation on my eyes to be able to see properly, so that's going to be fun. But right now,
so does
I would rather watch the operation of ENCE going in towards B, because again, SDY is just leading the charge to the Depression. He's trying to take space in towards tunnels, but I love this out of nature. Look at how cringe this is, because he's being all the way in the corner. I don't think Kindo's going to be ready for him.
No.
Bye-bye.
Hang on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Nate, you're right. This is cringe, but he can now be bypassed. Depression doesn't want to waste time here. I thought he would just immediately try and activate. The problem is his teammates aren't in any position to try and pressure up ramp at the same time. So Nate just crunches in on him.
And I want to be clear. Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, this pistol round was immediately lost as soon as ENCE got that kill on the player in the B bomb site, because everybody else was so far away and they never had a kit.
Yeah, that was a way better point than what I was going to say. I was going to say, to be clear, I was using cringe as a positive adjective. Like, I love the way you played it.
And Depression will feel hard done by. He's done the hard work there to get that angle, get the opportunity, and now Dragon is going searching. This is what you were talking about a bit earlier. Flash forward. He spotted out Nature. It's going to be tough for Nature to track this Mac 10, but he's going to be able to find the success. And look at the crunch now on this B bomb side. Flatten has the world in his shoulders. He's blinded up. He will still stand tall for one, but gets overrun by STY. Run and gun. Exemplified.
Oh, wow. I just love the responsiveness out of ENCE. Like, I tell you what, I was looking at the map, I was so transfixed on this little Nature fight with Dragon. Like, yeah, Partizan, they pushed it in towards upper tunnels, that makes a lot of sense. And then bang, they're just straight out mid to B. Like, ridiculous. Nice nade. But unfortunately, that's going to be the only positive adjective to describe this round number 16 for Partizan, because yet again, they're saving.
Must-win round for Partizan, no two ways about it. They have run out of time. The clock's on the 11th hour. And this is going to be straight out long coming through from this T side as well. Kindo's been forced back by the util. STY is chasing him though. Fantastic support utility. They're just chaining those flashes out long, and Kindo never stood a chance. And they're not stopping either.
I was going to say, first time they've done this as well. And they just keep going with the aggression. STY knows he can throw himself into the guillotine if it means they can take space. And look at this. You can't go for this if you're Partizan. You got to save.
I just love the confidence from Miltzy, the least experienced player on the server. Look at how much space he's been given, Brandon, to make these sorts of plays. The trust that they're putting in him right now. And he's delivering. And they're not even going to be able to save. It's just Dragon left remaining, and he's stuck now in short.
He's dead. Oh, no, he's not.
Yeah, Party is. You're right.
Oh, yeah, go. Ninja defuse. Just kidding. He's got no kit. It's still just absolute absurdity. But what's nice is he's done all the heavy lifting. And now suddenly Nature's having rounds. Poddy's coming into his element. As you say, Miltzy in that previous. And now again, Partizan trying to adjust. Brilliant from Dragon. Sinks his teeth into this long fight, and he's just able to remove both. Poddy has a chance to extract him through the smoke, but that doesn't happen. ENCE need to relocate, and they're going to try and do that through short.
Here's what I will say is the flash that they threw over the top was never going to be blinding Dragon because he was so far forward. They needed a pop flash through the door as well. I like the plan there from ENCE. They're really trying to play on the front foot and continue to suffocate Partizan, but finally they've been stopped in their tracks. A 5v3 here for Partizan to finally get back to winning ways.
Instant denial of this smoke, and Nature has just spammed out Collins. What on earth is that? Dragon's now full blind, and the thing is, you will not know about this player in towards Goose. So Kindo will at least be able to grab one, but Poddy's got rid of Dragon. So now suddenly you know all the info. A fake plant trying to entice further defenders. That flashbang now confirms that one's in towards CT. And in fact, it's two of them. This starts to get a little bit precarious, to be honest, for both teams.
Yeah, but it should never have been precarious for Partizan, so ENCE won't mind that it's gotten a little bit edgy here. Great shot from Poddy, but surely they're never going to expect Kindo in towards Goose right now. SDY is the one that could find himself in a spot to bother. Oh, he actually had a chance in the fight. And now Poddy out in the open will tap down one, but USP for Depression will prevail to hold on by a thread for Partizan as they do win the round.
So it's the right idea for him to obviously be a little bit baity.
Yeah, it was so incredibly close there for ENCE. And now it's going to be Dragon who finds contact in middle. He was the guy who opened up the previous round, floating around the map, but they found the trade this time. Good shot from Depression to shut Rigon down there. Rigon maybe just getting a little bit ahead of the game.
I'm scared for Depression, but this is really brave. Like, the last thing you do is expect an AWP right there.
Yeah, exactly. So it works out for him. And now it's onto the A players to uphold their end of the bargain, and they're not going to have any problem in making that happen. At this point, Nature, probably best he could do is save the AK. No way to win the round from here. And, I mean, AK armor, they're going to be buying in the next round anyway, so I think was probably a little bit unnecessary, and I think he's kind of realized that best option is to keep the gun in play We'll find a frag on one. Just if he had a 5 or 6 extra seconds, then who knows what could have happened. But he will just drop down to his death, and Partizan keep themselves alive as they continue to fight back on Dust 2.
But also there has to be a design of where they want to end in mind. The rest of it can be a little bit jumbled, but as long as they've got a clear start point and a clear end point, they can probably figure it out along the way. Shout out end point one time. Damn. R.I.P.
Yeah, missed the boys. Max, I saw, made a post talking about how he was looking for an opportunity. SDY, though, will create an opportunity. Boldly going through the smoke. Wait, what? I didn't ever expect that kill to come through. I thought he would have certainly gotten out with his life intact. That's a very good, strong kill back coming through from Kindo.
This is tense. Really tense. And they just go dry. Ends just go dry in towards short. And I suppose it's sort of worked, but not really. 2v2. You now know whether both these players are over here. Vladin gets out of dodge. Look at Nachu. Nachu's flank. 1 HP. It doesn't matter. And Kindo is now left all out to dry. You think you know where both these players are, but Nachu was always on the move, and he might have just put ENCE onto series point.
It was such quick decision-making there from Natu to shift into the B bomb site and recognize what was going on in the round. They're going to trade guns. Natu has found 2 kills on 1 point of health, but do not count Kindo out of this. A molly into the back plat there immediately kills Natu. 1 tick is all that's required. A molly into Poddy's position forces him out into the open. Then he has a 1v1 with the low health player. There's many different avenues here for Kindo to win this.
Oh no.
But his incendiary doesn't go in either direction, and Natu takes the initiative. He gets all 3 of his kills on a single point of health. At least Partizan do have a full arsenal of weapons here coming into the round to try and fight. Keep the fight going, and there's the smoke break. Poddy is the one who pays the price. Very good opening kill for Partizan, who have to string 2 rounds together. This is going to be the easiest of the lot as well, but this time the smoke break will cost Depression his life. Oh my goodness, ENCE are going to thread the needle here. They have created this window of opportunity with some good decision making. There's going to be a quick flank from Dragon, but he has to deal with Nachu, who's deep in towards lowers right now. Does he at all peek out? He's not gonna. And this could be costly for ENCE because they may not expect somebody on short this early. And there we go. Multi's the one who pays the price. Nachu now goes searching, but Collins is there for him. My goodness. Partizan now with the 4v2 and the retake have every chance they need to keep this game alive.
Let's hear from Dragon, but Rigon in the corner. They might not expect him now. Oh!
Perfect.
You bang on the money. The fact that
game across the line into overtime is Galil's, there's a MAC-10, there's limited utility as well. All signs point in the direction of OT. ENCE have one last shot here. Was it 11-6, I think, at one point? And they're just going all in on this B bomb site. Vladin is going to be the player to try and lock it down. He has got some support, but the support's isolated. The MAC-10's charging, the MAC-10's fragging.
No way.
As is the Galil. Partizan, is this really how it falls apart?
And it's sweet. Almost trauma, to be honest with Partizan, because it was their first gun round. They did this to ENCE. True. How poetic is this? This could be the way it all ends. 5v3. They've got a couple of flashbangs that they've got to go off them, and they've got to move now.
Yeah, they do. They've got a couple of kits. They're trying to get cute with their retake. They're trying to find some sort of a favorable angle. You still have Nate who's deep in towards T-spawn, so he knows there's no pressure from tunnels. Partizan leaving this incredibly late. They now smoke off tunnels. Util starts to barrel on in. It's going to be one-dimensional on the retake as they now start to commit forward, but they're being fragged, cut down at the choke points, and ENCE have done it. In the 11th hour, at their last chance, they win the quarterfinal.
Yeah, they do. I mean, immaculate result from ENCE. Partizan are going to be feeling a little bit hard done by because it's back-to-back, almost comebacks